Hi everyone and welcome to the channel. So today in this video I'm going to explain how we can assign cases in Salesforce using the record trigger flow. So in this video you will learn how you can automate the process of assigning a case to a user or a queue. So let's see how we can do it. And before that I will show you a demo record trigger flow that I have created to auto assign the cases. So here is a simple record trigger flow that you can create to auto assign the leads in Salesforce. So first in the record trigger flow we have defined the condition that whenever a case record is created and if the case priority is high, we will assign that case to a queue that I have mentioned over here in the assignment. So here using the assignment element I have assigned the triggered case to the queue whose ID I have mentioned over here. So with this, whenever a case with high priority is created, it will be assigned to the queue for which we have mentioned the ID over here. So let me show you how it works when a case is created. So here I go back to the case tab and here I will create a new case. So here according to the trigger condition, I will select the priority as high and then I will fill rest of the required fields. And after this, I will click on the save button and now you can see the case is assigned to the Q11. So here the Q11 is the name of the queue that we have used in the record trigger flow. And here in the URL also you can see this is the ID of this queue. From here you can get the ID of the queue. So let's see how we can create a record trigger flow to auto assign the cases in Salesforce. So first I will navigate back to the flow setup. So before starting the flow, I will first deactivate the flow that I have created earlier so that it do not contradict with the flow that we are going to create right now. So from the deactivate button, we can deactivate the flow. And now I will go back to the flow setup. And here to create a new flow, we will simply click on the new flow button. And here in this step, select the triggered option and then select record trigger flow. So here the object is going to be case. And in the configure trigger section, you have to select when the flow will trigger. So either you can select a record is created or we can also select a record is created or updated. So this time I will select a record is created or updated, and then in the condition requirement we can define the condition on which the record will trigger. So if we don't define any condition, this flow will trigger every time a case record is created or updated. So here I will define the entry condition that when the case priority is high, then only this record trigger flow will run. And here I will select the value as high. So when you have selected the update option, then you will also see this when to run the flow for updated records. So here you have two options that every time this record is updated or only once. So with this every time when a case record is updated with the high priority, then this record trigger flow will run. So here I will select this option. And then in the section optimize flow, we have two options, that is fast field updates and action and related records. So here we are going to assign the case record before the record is getting saved. So for that we will select fast field update and here I will close it. And now using an assignment element, we will assign the case to the queue. So here I will label it as assign case and the variable here will be triggering case owner ID equals to, and then here we have to enter the ID of the queue. So there are two ways to get the queue ID. So for that, on the setup, search for queue. So these are the two queues that I have created, and if you haven't created the queue, then simply click on the new button and here you have to enter the label and the queue name. And here for the case assignment you have to select the case object, and then here in the section queue members you have to select the members for the queue and make sure the users that you are selecting should have the access to own a case record. So here I've already created a queue, that is Q11. So now when I open this queue record, in the URL I will see this code. So this is the ID of the queue. So it starts from 00G, and if you want to get more accurate ID, then you can use the Salesforce workbench. So here in the Salesforce workbench, you have to simply log in with your Salesforce credentials. and here you have to go to SQL query, and then here in the object select queue as object, and then you have to select the queue ID, not the ID, and here click on the query button. So this is the queue ID, so you have to copy the queue ID from here and then go back to the flows, and here you have to enter the value of the queue, and after this we need to save and activate the flows. So for that, click on the save button, and here enter the flow label. So I'm going to label it as auto assigned case, and the flow API name will be auto filled, and after this click on the save button. So as of now we have saved the flow. So after saving the flow we need to activate it. So for that, click on the activate button, and now to test the flow I will go to the case tab, and here I will create a new case record. So here, according to the trigger condition, I will select priority as high, and then I will fill rest of the required fields, and then click on the save button. So here you can see, according to the trigger condition, the case owner is the Q11. So it is the queue that we have used in the record trigger flow. So this is how we can auto assign cases in Salesforce using a record trigger flow. And I hope that you have liked this video. Then please do like, share, and subscribe us. And do not forget to hit the bell icon so that you can get regular updates of our upcoming videos. And thank you for giving your time and watching this video till last. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye.